Hello, 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 crafty friends. I am Caron Bailey. I am your ATX Stampin' Lady here in Austin, Texas. Thanks for joining me today. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and tonight I'm here to present a little bit of Case the Caddy, although it's not in the catalog. I'm going to present for you tonight a little bit of casing some of the designs from the artisan design, one of the artisan design team members from Stampin' Up when they worked on this with this tutorial. For those of you that are new to my channel, thank you for joining me. Welcome. If you like what you see, please sign up, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you are new to my channel, interacting with the video with me in the video definitely gets you an opportunity to win prizes and cards from tonight's projects. All right, so what I'm looking for is just to share with you the cards that we're going to make tonight. Stampin' Up posted in their group the other day, and I loved these cards. Now, of course, none of them have measurements, so we're going to create and craft and try to case them. Here we go. Try to case them using what we think works. So here are the cards, and I think we're going to try to make 4 of these cards tonight. We're going to try to do these 2. And these projects are a little bit intensive, so they're not, so because I want to do 4 of them, they require a little bit of work, some of them, so it's going to be a long night. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, whatever it is you're going to drink, and let's get started with this card. So I think we're going to try to work on these 2. These 2 I would love to do, but it's just a lot more work for tonight. So we'll tackle these 2 at a later date. I think we can do this one. This is a lot of blending. So I think we can work on this one. And then I'm going to try to do these 2. So that's my goal for tonight, is to work on these 2. Well, maybe 5. See, I'm being aggressive here, right? So we're going to try to work on at least one of these, more likely this one, definitely this one, and maybe these 2 are the projects that we're going to try to work on tonight. Okay? So let's get started. When you shop, if there's any products that you see that you want to work with tonight, if you don't have them in your stash, I would appreciate an order in my online store. When you shop and place an order with me in the amount of $50 or more, you get a free gift with purchase. And then you're also entered into the monthly drawing. I host this at the end of the month for the previous month, and I give away lots of gifts and prizes as well, just for being a shopper in my store. So let me tell you some of the products that I see that were used in these projects. And if they don't, I went ahead and I grabbed what I thought was comparable. So of course is the Stampin' the bundle, the Frosted Forest bundle. This is an online exclusive item. You will not find it in the catalog. It is online exclusive, and it's available while supplies last. There's never a given time as to when online exclusives will no longer be available. It's just while supplies last. I'm using the 3D embossing folder in Timber. I think I see that in there, so hopefully that's what it is, because that's what I have and that's what I'm going to use. And I've already pre-embossed 5 sheets. Should be enough to take us through the projects. But if not, we have the embossing folder already. I've grabbed a couple of sheets of paper. This one, I believe, is from the Country Floral. I think Country Floral, I think is the name of the suite, and I can't remember which one I got this one. Oh, this is from the also the online exclusive silver, gold and green. I can't remember the name of the actual DSP pack. In the card projects, I also see a lot of basic white. I seen some craft, some crumb cake. I'm gonna use a little bit of Misty Moonlight, and this was boho blue. So let's get started with our first card, and we're gonna just try to work with we're gonna try to do a little bit of work with some of the products that could be a little bit faster than others. Ooh, that was supposed to be embossed. I didn't emboss that one. Oops. Okay. Let's start with this one. I think this one might be, ooh. We're gonna start with this one. Okay. This right here is the one we're gonna start with. So as you can see with the artist designs, my designer series paper, I like to see a border. So I cut this to 4 1/8, I think, by 5 with the artist design. Oh my goodness. My designer series paper, I like to. I hope that's golf. Can you hear me now? I don't know what happened, why I had sound. This is 5 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So that's what I cut here. And we're going to use a card base, basic white, that is a standard A2. Oh gosh. Standard A2 that is 4 1/4, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. And we're just going to adhere this to that. And again, I'm not a big fan of my Dia designer series paper covering all of it. So I tend to leave a little bit of a border. So that's just my design preference. You can use a full quarter panel, which would be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, if that is how you are choosing to do this project. All right, so now we have a piece of cardstock. Now I think this seems to be, this is 3 inches, right? So I'm gonna cut this, and this is one that's already embossed. Now, just a tip for you with embossed cardstock, right? Embossed cardstock is one of those things that I don't, if you pre-emboss it and you still need to trim it down, I would not use the Stampin' Up trimmer, the blade, okay? It will snag on a lot of the grooves and it will eat your paper. I would recommend that you use a guillotine trimmer if you have already stamped or embossed your piece of cardstock. I would definitely recommend that you use a guillotine type trimmer or one of the rolling blades. Definitely not one with the V cutting blade, a rolling blade. That's what I would use. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to design the rest of this. And then we can go and see what we got from there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna grab another piece of designer series paper. And I think we are definitely going to be using, oh, it told you what it did. So we're going to grab some, I did not grab any old olive. Let me grab some old olive. That's not old olive. One moment, I thought I had everything that I needed. I don't. Ooh, let's go Mossy Meadow instead. And you can also use garden green as one of your elements. So I'm just going to go ahead and die cut or cut a strip of paper. Grab the dies. I'm trying to avoid doing any of the projects that has to use the masking, although I may end up masking later on. Let's see. So this is what I see happening here. I think we're going to use this like so and cut that out. I think we're also going to do the same thing here. I think. All right, so what we need is maybe about a 3-inch. Let's cut a 3-inch piece of cardstock here. I thought I had cut everything and prepped most of it, but what does it that say of all of mice and men? There's a saying about of mice and men. I can't remember what it is, but there is a saying about that. That's all stuck in there too. And it's a good thing to trim it down like this because then I can use the mini cut and emboss machine as well in the project. Okay. When you join me, please say hello. I would love to know who's watching with me. And don't forget, the more you interact with us here, the livelier it is. I don't oftentimes like talking to myself. That is one of the drawbacks, I think, with doing videos this way is that we do talk to ourselves. So unless you guys do a little bit of commenting and interacting with us, it is what it is. We get to listen to ourselves talk. All right, so I'm not sure. I think this will cut it out. See, we don't have to waste that much. And I don't like to waste paper at all. I don't. So if I don't have to, I won't. All right, there we go. That's perfect. What did I just do with my plate? What did I just do with the plate? I put it back in the thing. All right. I know I didn't. It's here somewhere. I just can't see it. That's one of the drawbacks of being blind, not legally or anything, but if I can miss something, I will miss it. So I think we could just cut and it will cut it out. Yes, I think. Absolutely, it will. I'm going to run it right back through one more time, though, just to make sure. Oh, no, it's going to come out. I don't know. I thought I would have needed to die cut the outline of it, but I don't need to. And I am going to cut one more set of this because I think it's more of this. All right. Put this on the floor or out of the way. And we've got our trees. Perfect. So the technique that I see in the artisan's design is they used a little bit of embossing paste on the trees. And I believe they used that to get a little bit of the textured effect to present as if it's snow on the branches. I might do that later. I might just do it, but it's going to take a minute to dry. So I'm not sure I want to go ahead and use it tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Trying not to rip my tree here. Thought I got it all, but I seem to have missed a couple. And that one's gone. And then this one right here. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's one. And then we're going to use this one. Use our little, take your pick tool to get the little remnants out. The negative spaces. And our trees. And then here's the other. These are the release holes that you use to help release the images from the die. All right, so we've got that done. Let's put things back, because as you'll realize that as we work, and by we I mean me, our space diminishes rapidly. So it helps if as we are done with a project or a piece of material that we put it away. All right, so we've got that. Let's grab this out of the way and let's take these out of the way. Now, I'm going to grab my silicone craft sheet here. And these. And I'm going to, let's take a look here and see what we've done. Okay. Well, it's a good thing I got my shimmery white out, because I like shimmer. And we're going to put some of this on, but we're going to make sure that it gives it a little bit of time to dry. So we're going to do this first and then come back and then move on with the rest of the elements and then come back. This should have a little bit of time to dry by then. Okay. I try to make sure I keep it in the Glad bag. It says to kind of help keep some of the moisture in. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And this is the shimmery white embossing paste. Okay. I'm just going to put some right there. And it is going to be random. So when it's done, you're going to see it looks like there's snow falling on the branches. That's number 2. And then we're going to do the same thing on the smaller tree. Okay. And then we're going to just put the rest of this back. Put this back, and then we're going to set this off so that it can dry while we get everything else prepared, okay? All right. Gonna need a piece of scrap now. We're gonna stamp our birds. We don't need a big piece of cardstock for that. We really don't need the bigger piece because it's just 2 little bitty birdies that we're gonna stamp. So a piece of scrap will work. Okay. Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just gonna heat set this just a bit. Now this black ink that I'm trying, it's fast drying, but I always just hit it with a little bit of heat anyway, just to be on the safe side. And then there are dies for this. I'm just gonna fussy cut it. It's a simple enough piece of cardstock image that I am just gonna fussy cut it out. You guys, the Tuesday tip that I shared with you guys, I have just been making embellishments in all kinds of colors. You know, for me, when I travel, we do a card club, for lack of a better, where we meet generally the first Sunday of the month, and have what's called our shoebox swap. And our shoebox is a theme that's picked. And then we all create projects and enough kits for everybody that's attending so that they can recreate that card. Now, most people tend to add their own little touches to that as well, but generally they'll be recreating your card, make and takes, for lack of a better word. But I love embellishments, and sometimes, I'll have like I'll avoid using them because when you take them to those type of events and people have to travel, the the product doesn't dry very well or very quickly. And so either they run the risk of not of just messing up their card by the product not drying and it's spreading or something like that. And so this is such an ingenious idea. It's not my idea. I saw it somewhere. And it was such an amazing idea because if you know that you're going to use XYZ color and whatever, you can pre-do them and let them cure way in advance. And so you take those little glue dot strips and everybody will have what they need and it'll be dried and ready to go. I love that idea. All right. So there are birds. So now we probably should get ready to make our card. All right, so let's see. So we're going to grab a piece of that's already embossed. And that is definitely not. So I'm going to trim this down to maybe 3 inches, 3 1/4 maybe, by 4 1/4. I think that's where I'm going to go. So this is already 4 1/4. So let's see what 3 1/4 looks like. Oh no, that's probably okay. So let's go 4 3/4. And 3 1/2. And I just made that up, okay? Perfect. And what we're gonna do with this is I'm gonna tip this. So I just trim this to 4. I didn't realize I did 4. 3 1/2. Sorry, 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. Okay. So I'm gonna trim a scrap piece that's a little bit smaller than this. Okay. And here's why I'm going to do it. I'm being a little bit lazy in that I don't want to get up and go grab another piece of cardstock, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take a piece that's smaller. It's not small enough. And I'm going to temporarily hold it on here. And then I'm going to go in with, make sure this is perfect like this. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a, this is I trimmed it too short. But we're going to make it work, you guys, because we're not going to strive for perfection tonight, right? And then I'm going to grab, let's go, because we used Mossy Meadow. So I'm going to continue with that Mossy Meadow vein. Temporarily stick this right here. Make sure we have as an even a border as we possibly can. And what I'm gonna do is use that as a mask, right? And because I didn't choose to do, I'm just gonna use it as a mask to create a border. I just said I was being lazy, but hey, this is another creative way of using your, so if you don't want to invest in all things all at once, you can actually use this technique to create a border, and it will look as if you're using mossy meadow cardstock to give yourself a matte layer. So that's another tip for you as well. Plus, you get to make it as dark or as light as you'd like with your blending. Okay. And here we have this. All right. I'm going to leave it fairly light, even though it is mossy meadow. I'm going to leave it fairly light. Okay. So at the end of the day, we would have created our little border. You see? So it looked like it's matted, right? There you go. You can even hold on to this. All right, so that's done. And now let me turn this back on so we can see what we're missing in our final picture here. We need our sentiment. I'm not going to use the sentiment that they have. So we're just going to create one. And let's get these. I'm going to shoot them with the, I keep saying shoot, right? I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit. So this is going to go here like so. It's still not dry. So I'm going to shoot it with the heat tool a little bit. Hopefully it'll dry that way. I don't think it will. So we're just going to carefully adhere things. And they do look like there's little, there's snow on the branches. Can you see that? There you go. All right. So let's go ahead and start to get these adhered down here. Oops. How was everybody's day at work today? I ended up teleworking today. Thank God it's my normal telework day. But I generally go into the office. I don't like, for me personally, I find that when I telework, my habits change, and I don't. For me, when I go to work, I generally like go for a walk at for about 30 minutes of my hour lunch, right? But when I'm teleworking, man, I don't get up from my desk as often. I just don't move as much. And I don't like that. I don't. I have to move. Part of my wellness plan for myself is that I just have to keep moving. I make sure and I commit to minimum 30 minutes every day for my own my health goals. I have to do that 30 minutes every day. Right? And so with my hour lunch, I set my timers, and 30 minutes is dedicated to walking, and 30 minutes is for eating and getting ready to, go back to work or whatever. Because it's hot here. So that walk kind of, I gotta kind of get ready to go back to work. So has anybody received the new catalog yet? And I'm not talking about the demonstrators. I know I haven't seen mine. So I tend to sign up as a customer as well so that I see what you guys get and I know when you guys get them. So I try to make sure that I can see that kind of stuff as well. All right, let's put this here. Now the other thing you can do, I'm doing this, it's not dried yet, otherwise I would, is you can run it through a Xyron machine to do the sticky that way, adhesive that way. All right, so now that this part is done, yeah, that just makes it look a little messy. But it's in there though. I don't like that. I think if I was able to do a little bit more dimension on it, I would appreciate it more. So I'm gonna leave it off. I think it just will cover up the beauty of these two. All right, so then that's that. Then what we'll do is we'll get this set on our card. Oops, where's our piece that we cut? I'm gonna put this on here like so. Get our sentiment and our ribbon. For whatever reason, you guys, if you are commenting, I'm not able to see any of the comments. But do know that I will go back and I will check if you comment, and I will respond to any of the comments that I see, okay? As always, don't forget to let me know that you are here. Say hello, let me know where you're watching from. Okay, and then let's grab some dots. I want these to have a little bit of oomph to them. And oomph to me is just a little bit of dimension. You would think that I do not have adhesive strips. I just don't, I wasn't able to put my hands on them before I started the live. So that's why I am making do with cutting them. Okay. As you can see in the picture, that just because is not one of the sentiments in this bundle. So that's one of the things that can take this from being a Christmas stamp set to an everyday stamp set or at any time stamp set. It's not just for Christmas. Okay. Change your sentiments, change your colors. And then that should be something that'll help take it from a quote unquote Christmas stamp set to being an all around, all season, any reason type stamp set. And I love stamp sets that we can use in that manner. Okay. Just means you get more bang for your buck. At the end of the season, you don't have to put away your set. Okay. Okay. And now all I'm going to do is grab me a white card base, basic white card base. Oh, I know what I'm going to do with that. I do. I'm going to put it on the inside. Now there's going to be some ribbon that's attached here and the sentiment. I just don't know what sentiment I'm going to put on here yet. So until I figure that out, we're just going to finish this card off. And card number 1 will be finished. Okay. I love this side of the paper too. I love it. I was just talking to some of my other friends. I mean, Stampin' Up! Has really been knocking the designer series paper out of the park. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I became a demonstrator was the designer series paper with Stampin' Up! The paper is amazing. But in the last couple of catalogs, in the last couple of seasons, the designer series paper, in my opinion, I mean, they've just been knocking it out of the park. Yeah. Okay. Waste not, want not. I'm going to put a little bit more adhesive back here. Right. And we are just going to adhere this guy to the inside of our card. Because remember, we don't do any naked insides, right? And here we go. Bring a little bit of the outside to the inside. All right. So this is card number 1. We're going to let that dry. And then we're going to work on our sentiment to finish this off. Okay. Let's put this aside. And let's see, what's the other one that we've got? So we've got 1 done out of the 4. So let's go with mm, mm, let's go with this. Let's try this one. Okay. Now this is cut to 3 3/4 by 5, maybe. That's what we're going to go with. 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to tell you, I think what I see here is some pretty good things. So let's grab one of our embossed pieces. And we are going to color them. We're going to grab our crumb cake paint pad. And we're just going to add just a little bit of color. Okay. All right, and so what I see on this one is we've taken this die cut and we've added it alongside like this, and we're going to die cut this part. And then probably going to need some more of that. And then we also die cut I would not think that I had adhesive on or magnet in here, right? So we've got that. And I'm going to step away for just a second so that I can run this through the die cut machine. Okay. Now, because of how I'm doing this, I'm not going to run it through the mini. I'm going to run it through the big shot, the big embossing machine. So I'm going to step away. And run this through. Anything else need? Oh, let me see. What else needs to be die cut? Let's see if we can get this all done at once, right? And then there's a little bit of green in there. So let's put a little bit of, I'm going to put a mossy meadow again, I think. Let's grab a little mossy. I'm sorry, old olive is what I meant. We're going to add some of that in there. Going to add a little bit of, I think I'm going to put a little bit of wild wheat in here. Yeah. As well. So there's that little conglomerate of color right in that area. Okay. So now put our stuff away, get them out of the way. And then we're also going to need this guy. All right, this is going to go in here like this. This is going to go here like this. Look at that. We are not wasting a thing. Look at that. Amazing, huh? That is how to be economical. All right, stepping away. Give me just a moment and I'll be right back. I'm always a little ambitious in how many cards I think we can get done in the evening. So I'm really hoping we can get through 4 of them. But if we don't, that's fine. That just means we get to come back and do some additional cards. So here we go. We've got our piece here. Oh, we might need to put that back. Did not clearly cut everything. Okay. Got our tree. Okay. Gonna grab our paper snips. Oh my goodness, did I really do that? I did. Girl, that's not a good thing. Okay. We're just gonna take this guy and snip it here. Put that away. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here. Okay. Okay. And we got piece number 1. Now, now would be the time if you wanted to make this a little bit darker, we could go right back in and add a little bit more of ink to the cardstock. Am I gonna have to put this back on the machine? I think so. Are these gonna come out easy? No. All right. So before I go any more, I am going to put this right back on here. And the thing about that though is they'll fit right back into the groove. Just make sure they're right back in place. Okay. And then it's small enough now that I can run it through the mini cut and emboss machine. Okay. So let's grab our mini cut and emboss machine. Let's grab our plates. I'm going to run it through several times just for it to make sure that the cut is clean and it releases a little bit easier. That should be good. All right. Perfect. See, that came out. Make sure I try to take these out. Where's my brush? On the take your pick tool, there's a brush head. I don't think I've taken it out of the box. I know I haven't taken it out of the box. Mm-hmm. So definitely not release holes. That's one way to get it done, right? So that's what we'll end up having. A mess. A big mess, that is for sure. A big mess. All right. Well, now we can kind of start to put this card together, you guys. Here we go. I think I'm going to add a little bit more brown. I'm going to go grab my crumb cake brush again. And add just a little bit more brown to this guy. I don't want it to be too brown, but I do want it to have like a hint of a little bit more than what's there. And again, it's completely up to you, the shade or the hue of brown that you add. Okay. I'm also having Q-tip swabs in your craft room is a good thing. I just created a little bit of a shimmer paper here with what I did. And then I'm going to do it on this one. So what I used to make my shimmer is some glycerin. And I also used, you may have remembered Stampin' Up! Had these all-purpose inks, the shimmer paints. So I mixed that in with the glycerin to make a little bit of a shimmer. Okay, so let's grab our image now and let's get to put this together and see what we've got going on. This one should be fairly easy because it's, now I'm going to trim a piece of cardstock that is, I'm going to make it about 4 by 5 1/4. All right, 4 by 5 1/4. And again, we could have done the same thing with the mask and then just used the crumb cake to create a base, but I chose not to do that. And then we're going to trim our embossed piece down to 3 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to go with 3 7/8. Well, let's stick with 3 1/4. Nope, 3 7/8 is what I'm gonna do. Three and 3/4 by 5. That's 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm getting ready to cut too much off of this. 4 by 5 1/4. So we'll make this 5 1/8. I was going the wrong way. All right. So let's see what we got going on here. We are going to adhere this guy here, like so. But we're going to build this guy here, like so. Right? See how all that works? Isn't that pretty though? All right. So let's get this done. So let's go ahead and this was just basic white cardstock, you guys. So with basic white cardstock, you can make any color. You can do anything with it. And when I say anything, I just mean that, hey, if I wanted a piece of crumb cake cardstock, but I ran out, I could just use the blending, the inks, and create my own. There we go. And then we're going to put this guy, oops. Did I just do something dumb? I'm going to put this about right here. Bring it down just a tad. Okay. Like that. Then we're going to add this guy. As well. So if you were thinking, if you were on the fence about this set, I mean, I think this is a nice one to have for your Christmas needs, and it's not just for Christmas. But of course, we are preparing for Christmas because Christmas is what, 4 months away? Almost to the day. So, but it is perfect for Christmas. And I'm just going to adhere this right now, and then I'll add adhesive on the other side. So we've got this like that. Get these down like that. And then I'll go ahead and I'll add adhesive right here. Okay. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. Then I'm going to snip this off. And remember, when you're snipping, if you've overgone, it's best to turn it over and snip from the other side. That way you can see clearly, and then you're not going to trim off any part of the cardstock that you really don't want to trim off. So we've got that, and then there we go. Here it is. This is just gonna adhere here, like so. Just like that. All right. So there's a little notch here that I'm going to line up with the tip. There's a little notch here that I'm going to line up with the branch over there. And this one is going to line up with this branch over here as well. Okay. So those are some tips as far as lining this up, making sure that's lined up, and it's lined up on this side. Okay. And that's how we're going to have our tree. All right, so I am going to grab, oh, is it going to fit through there? I don't think it's going to fit. Okay, that's all right. That is all right. That's why we have this guy. And what I am going to do, sometimes when you buy things and you're like, why am I buying that? I don't know what I'm going to use that for. Well, here you go. There we go. This is liquid adhesive. We're just going to add it to the back. Oops, there we go. It's flowing now. And that is the purpose of our silicone craft mat, so that we can add that adhesive, liquid type. Right, now we're going to reach in with our reversible, and then we're just going to line these guys up like we talked about. Sorry, I need to get in here. Like that. Like that. Make sure this goes like that. And then let everything fall into place. Look at that already. It's beautiful, Lauren. All right, so almost finished with this one. Again, I probably won't do sentiments on it. Perfect. So I need 3 birds. So let's get our birds done. Perfect. And our birds, I don't know, it seems like we've got them in different shades, I think. So let's grab, I'm seeing a little bit of what looks like a pink, but I'm going to go with Flirty Flamingo just to be on that safe side. And I'm going to stamp those off because they're not full color. It seems pretty light. I'm going to stamp them off. Guys, don't get rid of those, okay? They're perfectly good birds. Save that sheet and die cut them later on and use those birds. I'm just saying. That's the purpose of, well, not the purpose, but when you have something that you're stamping off, you can always use the darker version or the lighter version, whichever one you're not going to use in your current projects, you can always use the other one. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of Wink of Stella here. And I'm just using the Wink of Stella to spread that ink a little bit. You got to be pretty fast because it sets pretty quick. All right, and so that's what we're going to do with that. Let these dry for a minute, and then we're going to cut them out. I'm thinking, all right, so we may have time for one more card. May have time for one more card. And again, there are die cuts for this, but sometimes it's just faster and easier for me to just reach in with a pair of snips and just do a little fussy cutting. If I'm looking for it to be 100% perfect, then I will reach for the die cut. But more likely than not, I'm not looking for 100% perfection. It's a handmade card, and handmade cards are not meant to be perfect. My opinion, just my opinion is all. All right. Any crime junkies watching the video? Oh my gosh. Oh, I think maybe that would probably be a good thing to do, huh? Crafting and craft and crime and craft. Oh, that might be a Ooh, that might be an interesting session, huh? Two of my favorite things. I am a subscriber to uh, what is that? Court TV. Um, I mean, I watch uh, Dateline, 48, First 48. I watch them all. Hey, if you are a crime junkie podcast listener, just post that in the comment. Let me know. Be curious to see how many uh, fans are out there of that excuse me, of that genre. So join me tomorrow night in my Facebook group, in the craft room with Caron, and it is Fun Fold Friday. We are going to be working on the double Dutch fold card. I've already got my gonna be better for you guys. I'm gonna try to be prepared for tomorrow. Um, yes. All right, so let's go ahead and add our little birds. Let's see. I think there was one here, and one there is where they had them. Yep. So let's grab them and put them on here and see what we got going on. I'm trying to find my mini. There they are. Because I think the minis will fit on these little birds. I think. Right? It fits. Just started a new Michael Connelly novel today. I'm an audiobook listener. I'm a little bit too busy sometimes to sit and read with a book in my hand. So I generally will listen to audiobooks. So I just started a new one of his today. Um, Okay. So that's it for this, except for our sentiment, which we'll add later. And now we're just going to put this together. Oh, we got some gems to put on here too. I saw them. Hold on. Put my gems on a little bit later. I meant to call my sister today. She's going to be like, you didn't call me back. Oh, I know. I do the same thing to her. When I call her and she doesn't call me back, I'm a little irritated. She knows this. I know she's busy, but still. So I know I shouldn't do it to her, but I meant to call her back. I just didn't get around to it. Besides, the night's still young, right? It's just 9:26. I can still call my sister. All right, so here we've got this. This is done. And what I should have done is I should have die cut this piece out of this so that I could, for more efficient use of the cardstock. There's nothing wrong with what I just did. It's just would have been, to me, a little less, quote unquote, wasteful. All right. So now we're going to do that one more card and finish this frosted ferns, frosted forest cards. I'm gonna finish the other ones because I do like them. And I may do a frosted forest part 2. All right, so we're gonna put that here. We're gonna put this guy on here. But I want it to have some dimension. I want it to pop. Go figure. I've got, oops. Oops. All right, and so we're gonna do one more project tonight. I think we can definitely get that done. What do you think? One more? All right, guys. So again, if you are commenting, I'm unable to see comments tonight, so I will go back and review. If you are commenting, don't forget, not if you are commenting, don't forget interaction gets you entry into the drawing to win the cards tonight, or a little prize tonight, and a thank you for spending your evening with me. I do know you have your choice of crafters and artisans and other things that you could be doing. And the fact that you chose to spend your time with me, man, I am so totally appreciative and grateful of that. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click on that notification bell to make sure that you know when I'm going live. And so that you're able to join in the fun. One last step on this card are the dimensionals or the gems. Let me see. I know I had some black ones out here the other day. I don't know where I put them. It did, but that's what our metallic enamel effects are for. And generally, where were they? There's one about here. And then there were one here and one here. There you go. All right, so card number 2 is done. Let's kind of clean this off and get ready for card number 3. and then we can wrap it up for the night. Okay, guys? All right, so we're gonna make this one. I think this one should be a little bit faster. So I have a piece of crumb cake. I don't even know what dye that is. What do I have that's similar to that? What do I have that's similar to that? That I have not put away, far, far away. That I can put my hand. Where are my stylish shapes dyes? I wonder if they're in them. Huh. Let's take a look. It could be this part of the stylish shapes die set, right? All right. So it's not quite that, but I just plucked my Tasteful Labels dies, and that's what I'm going to use. Yes, it is. Okay. And I'm going to die cut 2 of them. Why 2 of them? Because I can. And I might make a second one of these. So I want to just make sure that it's already die cut. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to reach for my mini die cut emboss machine again. And for my plates. There are my plates. I'm going to put that on there. Put that on there. And we're going to cut 2 in 1. I'm going to line it up a little straight. And here's why. Because it's a shape, it really doesn't matter. But I am going to put it straight. And the only reason I'm going to do that is because if I want to use that as a mask, it's just a little bit easier to line it up if it's already straight. And I'm going to run it through another couple more times, that because it's trying to cut through 2 layers. So I'm going to just cut through it a couple of times. And that should be good. Okay. Perfect. Put this back in my Tasteful Labels. And put one away. And keep the other. Okay. So what we've got working with here is we've got something that looks like this. And then this is going to go on here. Well, I think that one has a little bit more detail, so that's the correct way. So that's going to go here. And then I'm going to need, another tree. Okay. Hadn't planned on that one. And I think that one is die cut, or it used the masks. Oh boy. All right, let's see what we got going on here. The masks are numbered. I don't know if you can see them. Let me find them for you. And lettered. So this is C. Can you see the little C here? So that kind of tells you the order in which you should be using them, okay? And here's our B, and here's our A, okay? And these are the ones we're going to use for this particular item, okay? So of course, we're always going to start with our A, and we're going to see if, because I tell you, I don't believe in wasting, right? So here we've got a scrap piece of cardstock. And let's see, what greens am I seeing? I know I'm seeing some old olive. Maybe a little bit of granny apple green, maybe. And third color would probably be garden green, maybe. So we're going to try these three colors, right? So that's our A. Then we've got more detail. And then what do we have here? Okay, so this is our, so we're going to work, I think it's lightest to dark, right? Oh, what the heck. We're going to do our own thing here. Granny apple green we're starting with. Okay. Then we're going to go with our B plate, our B oh heck, you guys. I did the first thing that you're not supposed to do. You know what that is? I did not mark where I did not. I'm going to do it now. And I'm just going to go in. Oh, that's a mess. I'm going to go in with one of my Sharpies here. All right, so that was A, B, right? Okay. And then we're going to go in with our garden green as our B. I moved it a little bit. Okay. Well, let's hope this works, right? Right? If nothing else, we're going to have a weird looking tree. That's all. So that's a tip for you guys. Don't forget to make sure that you mark where your stencil is going to line up, your mask is going to line up. That's the first thing I did. I did that was incorrect. Okay. And so when I went to line up my B, I wasn't sure where it was supposed to go. So I ended up having to realign my A stencil just to make sure I knew where the B stencil was going to line up, and the subsequent ones were going to line up after that. Okay. So that's just a growing tip for you guys, is make sure that you at least mark where your stencil should be aligned. Okay. Okay, let's get this done. We're almost done here. Oh yeah, that was right. All right, so your darkest color should be your C. Okay. And the colors that we used for the tree tonight, again, were Granny Apple Green, Garden Green, and our Old Olive. Okay. And there's our tree. And I'm going to take a little bit of this extra. What is this? Oh, not that. Wipe some of that off. And then just go around the entire tree. Okay. Because I wanted to soften the vastness of the white. All right. Those are the colors I chose. You can choose some other greens. In your when you are designing, you can choose some additional different greens. I'm gonna now grab this guy. What's going on here? And just die cut this. All right, this one was a fast one. We're almost done with this card. Almost. I'm just gonna die cut this out. Like that. And then at some point, I'm going to clean this mess of a desk off, because it is a mess right now. I mean, a ridiculous mess. It is. I mean, as much as I love our craft, it is, for me anyway, it is not a very neat venture. All right, so here's what we got going on. So we're going to end up with this. Make sure that's kind of straight there. This is going to go on top of that. And there's going to be some ribbon. I don't think I have any of that particular ribbon, but I do have. This is, they call it striped ribbon. So we're going to use that, right? So let's get this going. And my head might be in the shot because I do need to make sure that I have it aligned properly. Okay. Okay. We're just going to align this guy. Try to make sure it's a little centered. Those got to be straight. I think that's straight. Does that look straight? It looks straight to me. Yeah. Okay, so it's straight. And then what I'm gonna do I'm gonna grab some, and I gotta be careful with this because I'm gonna use some two-sided tape, Caron tape here. And it's not, the ribbon is clear, so I'm just gonna make sure that I kind of use this a little bit sparingly. I'm gonna do about 3 strips. One, like so. There's no rhyme or reason to this, how I'm doing this particular part. So you can kind of do whatever works for you in how you're going to align or add your ribbon. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do with this now is we're going to use this to help us get that ribbon laid down. Burnish the adhesive on. Okay, like that. And then we're just going to get ready to adhere this ribbon. This is like an iridescent ribbon. And then we're just going to bring it back like so. Make it like this. Then we're going to bring it back like so. And then I'm just going to bring it back in the center and call it a day. Okay. Hide it right under the center. All right, so that's what we're going to do with that. Then we're going to add some dimensions on here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, and then once we're done with this, guys, we are almost done with this card. That's how simple and easy this one was. And again, I'm not going to add any sentiments to any of the cards tonight. And always add your sentiments later once you figure out which one you want to add. But as you can see, the card itself is ready. And when you need a quick card, it's ready to go. All right, like this. Okay. And then we're going to align this. Make sure it's even again. I'm using the grid lines on the mat to make sure that they're even. And then I'm just going to add this about right here. like that. Okay. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some shimmer to it. This is my little mixture here that I've been using. There's going to be so much shimmer on this tree. It's not even funny. Oh my gosh, it's going to be absolutely amaze balls. All right, so here we are. We're done with that. The last thing we're going to do now, but besides adding some gems, is we're going to add this to our basic white card base, and then this card will be done as well. And then the last thing we have to do is clean everything up and put things away. Okay, that's not the right thing. Looking from a card base here. When I get cardstock, I pre-score so many of them that it's really just a matter. It's just for efficiency's sake. I just will pre-score lots of stuff, lots of them. Here we go. And then we're just going to add our sentiment once we've decided on a sentiment. Again, thank you for joining me this evening. I do appreciate the company as I create these cards with you and for you. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you on a regular basis. I do try to go live at least twice a week. Monday, Thursdays definitely, where I case the catalog. I also go live in my Facebook group. So if you don't happen to catch me here on Facebook or on YouTube, definitely catch me on YouTube. Okay, I think I just got that all mixed up there. But you know what I mean. If you don't catch me here on YouTube, definitely reach over to me and catch me on Facebook. I'll be happy to have you in either place. And videos that I create on Facebook, I upload them to YouTube, so you will not miss anything in either place that I tend to go live. Okay. This Sunday is the last Sunday of the month, and the last Sunday of the month, we tend to do our mystery stamping event. So don't forget to check your mailboxes if you are a subscriber to my newsletter, or if you follow me on my blog. And on my Facebook, you will see the clue posted in any of those mediums, okay, those platforms. I also post them to the event that's on my online calendar and my online store. So you should be able to see the events that we have going on in the craft room. All right. So I got to stand up because I can't see if it's straight on all sides. Oops. All right, guys. So we are almost done tonight. I thought I was going to get 4 cards done. I hoped I would get 4 cards done, but I got 3. Not bad. Not bad at all. And let me just bring them all back in here. And we featured tonight the Frosted Forest bundle. And that bundle includes stamps, dies, and the mask. Okay. We didn't put cards on any one of our sentiments on our cards tonight. That was by design. And here are the 3 cards that we made tonight featuring the Frosted Forest bundle. Guys, I hope you enjoyed these cards. I hope you take a shot and recreating them for yourselves. If you do, don't forget to post them on my Facebook page in the corresponding event for tonight. That way I can see what you have created using these products. Guys, thanks for joining me tonight. I am Caron, your ATX stamping lady, and I'll see you the next time. Happy stamping!